Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're giving you our week 4 fantasy football starts and sits. That's right. We're here to help you make sure you have all the right guys in your lineup and all the wrong guys out of your lineup. Let's start this fantasy football podcast right meow.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Fantasy Football Upside. I am Justin, that is Kyle. Thanks for dropping by our Fantasy Football podcast and YouTube channel. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Week 4 is already here, everybody. After actually a quite enjoyable Thursday night football game. Who would have thunk it after that matchup?
I enjoyed it, but that's because I had 2 guys in the game, so who did very well. Yeah.
But we did see the Bengals actually come back and beat the Jags. They were down 14-0. I was like, ooh, I placed a little money on that. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen here? I am screwed.
There were a lot of people, I'm sure, who had survivor picks that were riding pretty hot for a while.
A little bit of a pucker, you know what? But today and every week this season, we will break down each game for Sunday and Monday's game and give you the players you start and who you should sit.
Yep.
So that's all I got right before we get right into it. Kyle, what you got?
Hey, go ahead and click the like button as well as the subscribe button and the bell. So if you hit that subscribe button, guess what? You will be notified, as long as you've hit that bell, when we go live on Sundays, because we do a pregame show on Sunday mornings before all of the games kick off. And that way you get that last little tinker in, right? You get that last little bit, you know, or maybe we get you to walk back from the edge a little bit. So yeah, you know what? If you have a question, feel free to drop it down below. We can answer it during then. Just raise your hand and say, help. That's right. Help now. Yeah, and we will help out. That's what we do. We try to give you as much information as possible, kind of guide you in the right direction. Hopefully it helps out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is we go game by game on this one where it's more general. We want you to ask those questions down below, get us prepared for Sunday's live stream as well, saying this guy versus this guy. So definitely drop those questions down below.
Yeah, and it could be position versus position, It doesn't even have to be the same position. So because we don't address that during
American football, so not CFL. So just make sure American football.
Yeah. I saw something where somebody said that, who was it? I forget what quarterback they said is going to end up on the, it was Rodgers. That's what it was. They were joking that eventually he's going to have, somebody's going to speculate that he's been on every team as far as speculation in the NFL. And so then eventually they're just going to be like, well, I heard that one time he liked when he visited Toronto, so he's going to join the Argonauts now.
There it is.
Kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, he's going to jump to the CFL.
Write that down. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Write that down.
All right, guys, let's dive in headfirst into the shallow and start talking about these starts and sits. Let's see here. What we have off the top is the exciting matchup of Tennessee Titans versus the New York Jets, who are slightly better than the worst. I think that the Jaguars are still the worst. Yeah, still worst. Pardon me. So let's talk about the Titans here. We've got Ryan Tannehill. Hey, he's a start. Get after it, sir. Right? Let's go, Tannehill. He's going to be getting it done, I guess. I don't know. Who's he going to throw to this week? Not A.J. Brown and not Julio Jones, because those guys are both going to miss time. Josh Reynolds, maybe? I don't know. Maybe Ferkser shows up. I don't know. They don't have much of anything beyond those two guys.
Maybe Nick Westbrook. Maybe, but undrafted free agent.
Probably not. I'm going to guess, though, what's going to happen is that Derrick Henry gets about 50 carries, maybe. And, look, hey, eventually the wheels are going to come off, but you're going to ride him until they do. So, just, just like the Titans are, right? They're going to ride it till he dies. All right. That's all I got. That's it. 2 starts, Tannehill and Henry. What do you got on the massive powerhouse, the Jets?
Oh, I think about starting the whole damn team, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think about it. You think about it,
and then you
remember that they are
the worst. This is very true. I am only thinking about starting Corey Davis, and that would be more, I would feel better about myself if I started him in the flex, because, he is going to average about 7 targets plus a game throughout this whole season. But those targets are coming from Zach Wilson right now. The rookie quarterback is struggling, which is going to happen when you come to a terrible team. That's what happens when you're a top 5 pick.
What are you talking about?
Means they're I don't know what you're talking about, man. But this is also the Jets' offensive line is not the greatest, so it doesn't help Corey Davis getting out there in time. But he's just going to be peppered with targets. A couple guys that are going to be Elijah Moore is already out for this game. Jamison Crowder is coming back, so he could see a heavy targets, but this is just a rough game all around.
Yeah, it's just
Corey Davis would be the only person that would feel somewhat confident starting. That's it, man.
Yep. All right, let's move on here. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll take the Chiefs. Obviously, I prefer the Chiefs in this matchup anyway. Patrick Mahomes, start your studs. He's got to get right kind of game going here, I think, maybe. It's rare that he loses 2 in a row, so here we go. So he's a start. Clyde Edwards-Helaire for me is a flex value running back 3 at best, I think. He could sneak his way back into the running back 2 discussion by accident, I think. But it's pretty clear that Andy Reid hates fantasy football running backs. So, yeah, there you go. Tyreek Hill, start your studs. Travis Kelce, start your studs. You know this. You drafted these guys to not take them out of your lineup. That's why you have them. The only one that I have who is a possible flex, but this isn't a good situation if you're putting this guy in your lineup. I hope you're putting him in as a flex value play, and that's Mecole Hardman. Look, Josh Gordon is here for your lunch money and your starting job, Mecole. It's going to go away, man, because there's the reason that Josh Gordon signed on that practice squad, and it's because Mecole Hardman can't get it done apparently. So go run and get Josh Gordon if you've got Mecole Hardman, I guess.
I guess.
All right, what do you got on the Eagles?
All right, I'm going to start Jalen Hurts. In fantasy terms, he's good. In real football...
Did you almost say in fanny terms?
I almost did, I think. In fanny terms. Yeah. But in real football, I would be a little bit worried if you're an Eagles fan.
A lot of it.
Well, I feel like he is going to Blake Bortles this season, and if anybody's been playing fantasy football in the past, it's all about garbage time. That's what happens right here. And this is what Jalen Hurts is getting. He's getting those points in garbage time, playing from behind. He's going to get a lot of rushes on the ground, so he's going to get a nice little floor. Miles Sanders, he's barely holding on to some flex value. He barely got any touches last week, but he's still a name. I'm hoping for a little bit better, but he got 2 carries last week, pal. 2. 1, 2. That's it, man. That's rough.
Yeah, and look at the end of that game. The end of that game was
Kenny
heartbreaking.
Gainwell was on the field.
Yeah. Anybody who drafted Miles Sanders, we warned everybody. We said before the season started, we said Kenny Gainwell's coming for your job, buddy. He's coming for your job. And there he was. At the end of that game, he was the back on the field.
Yep. And also when it comes to wide receivers, I can't trust Devontae Smith or Jalen Reagor because you can't start either of them because it's going to be one or the other is going to go off. Or when I say go off, I'm going to get you low end wide receiver 2.
4 targets for 70 yards and maybe a touchdown. Yeah,
maybe. And then I do want to mention real quick the tight ends. They're both pretty good, but they're canceling each other out. Cannot start one unless one is not playing.
I mean, Dallas Goedert's throwing dudes into trainers. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, that was so dirty last week what he did. I was surprised he didn't get a suspension from the league, to be honest, because that was very intentional what he did. And not cool. It was I think it was his own team's trainer too that he threw the dude into. Like,
was it the same guy that did he come over from the Chargers or something like that who tried to take out Tyrod? Is that
it's the team doctor. Yeah. He had a needle.
I was protecting the team.
I did it for you. Jalen. Yeah, that's my quarterback. All right, we've got the Carolina Panthers at the Dallas. I assume you were done. I'm sorry. Carolina Panthers at the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go. Carolina, Sam Darnold. Why not? You could do worse in a 2 QB or super flex league right now. He's actually surprisingly doing a pretty good job. He's worth a look on the waiver wire, especially if you're in a 2 QB or super flex league. He may still, I doubt it, but he may still be sitting on your wire. So run and check that out right now. Let's see here. Chuba Hubbard. They're saying that it's the same game plan. Instead of Christian McCaffrey, it's not going to change anything for them.
That's not interesting.
It's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. It should change. Chuba Hubbard is not Christian McCaffrey, but they said even with Hubbard there instead of McCaffrey, nothing changes. Okay,
sure,
whatever, Ja Rule. DJ Moore, he's a start for me. Darnold is locked in on Moore right now. Will that finally change this week? It's possible. And who is the beneficiary if that happens? That's Robbie Anderson. So he's worth consideration as a flex. He's really not shown up right now, but he needs more targets, but they're all going to Moore for the time being. Until they show something different, I'm not comfortable putting him in the lineup, but he does present maybe a back end wide receiver 4. I would say that's probably the ceiling, guys. So I really wouldn't run him into my lineup unless I absolutely had to. That's all I've got on these guys. There's one start and a bunch of flex. So.
I got you, man. Dak Prescott, Cowboys. Yeah, you're going to start him. Should be a pretty quality QB1 this week. Going to get better and better as the season goes on, as he gets healthier and healthier. And he's going to get Michael Gallup back here in a couple weeks. So Ezekiel Elliott, he found the end zone a couple times last week. I still would only trust him as a running back 2. Tony Pollard is a guy that's more on the up. Zeke is more on the down. Pollard's got some flex appeal if he keeps getting touches. He's RB 18 right now in standard scoring. He missed Thursday's practice, but it was because of the birth of his child. So congratulations to you. He should still be playing on Sunday. Amari Cooper, wide receiver number 2 in week 1 and bust ever since.
Yep.
He's been suffering from a rib injury, so it looks like it's really hampering him. And CeeDee Lamb, kind of similar to Cooper, great week 1 and has now finished outside of wide receiver 3 the last 2 weeks. So we've got to get both those guys back on track, but you're not going to take them out of your lineup. And that's all I got. Dalton Schultz had a big week 3, but too tough to get consistent work out of him. I would still say.
Yeah, I mean, that's the case with tight ends, generally speaking, right now.
Unless you got Kelsey or Waller, and that's really about it.
I would point out that my one concern with Amari Cooper always has been nothing about his ability. The mere fact that he won't take time off, generally speaking.
Right.
He plays injured and
through.
He's happy to play the decoy. And that's problematic because you'll trot him out there. He'll get one target in a game and then just disappear. Hardly run any effort, routes or anything like that. And it's just so frustrating. But he does get in there and block and stuff like that. So they keep putting him out there. That's the frustrating thing. Just take a week off, dude. Like that. Just get better. So, all right, we've got the Giants at the Saints here. Giants, Danny Jones, Danny Pennies, right? No longer Danny Dimes. He's worth maybe a back end Superflex 2 QB league start. But that's it. I wouldn't consider him in any other capacity. If you've got him on your team and you're in a standard scoring league, dump him. Saquon Barkley, last week he looked a little better. He did, but it was deceiving because his efficiency was absolutely terrible. So don't bank on him being your saving grace this week or pretty much any week going forward. I think you still got to start him. You spent on him in the draft, but man, you got to be really worried here. The efficiency was way down. I would say that Kenny Golladay is a flex. That's about it. That's where I'm at. Looks like we've got a bunch of other wide receivers all out with hammies, right? He's got a leg. He's got a leg issue. Yeah.
He got a hammy issue. Yeah.
I don't know who's the beneficiary in that scenario. Maybe it's Golladay, but I just don't think he's the right receiver for Daniel Jones. And considering how much they spent on Golladay, I see Jones as being the guy who's gone later. I don't know what's going to happen there. So that's what I've got. What do you got on the Saints?
I don't have much on the Saints, man. Jameis Winston, he's a good 2 QB super flex start. Alvin Kamara, you're going to start your studs, of course. He is a definite start. That's all I have, man. I still can't trust anybody else in this offense, truthfully. Yeah. I mean, Marquez Callaway finally caught a touchdown, but that's the only thing he's done so far this season.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to go on there. I think that this offense, they caught fire or more like lightning in a bottle with the Packers just not being ready week 1 and made them look really, really good. And then they just have stunk it up since then, other than Alvin Kamara. So, all right, we've got the Cleveland Browns at the Minnesota Vikings. Let's see here. We've got Baker Mayfield. Roll with him as a high-end QB too, but running game is where this team lives, guys. You know that. So that means Nick Chubb, start your studs. Got to throw him out there. Kareem Hunt, he's getting rolling just in time to break your heart, right? Like he's getting moving just enough that you're going to finally put him in your lineup and go, oh, God. Of course, now he has a bad game.
Wall down.
Boom. Yeah. Start. Yep, just done. Odell Beckham Jr. back end wide receiver 2 while Landry is out. So he has a little bit of upside there, but this offense, like I said, lives to run the ball. Austin Hooper, decent start with some upside, but while the targets are decent, the yards really have not been. And so that's a tough play there. It's inconsistent, but that's the tight end position by in fantasy football in general. David Njoku, meh. He had a big week 1, but completely disappeared in week 3. So it's just kind of come full circle, right? It's right back to where he was before. Disappeared.
Yep.
All right, Minnesota, what do you got?
Kirk Cousins, he's a good quarterback 2 or super flex start. He's actually providing QB1 value right now. I don't think that's going to continue for the rest of the season. Dalvin Cook, if he plays, then you start him. It sounds like he should be a go, but you just never know with these situations. So you definitely need to check out our live stream on Sundays to get the most accurate information. If he's going to play, he is. There you go. Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, write that down.
Damn, I stumbled all over that one for you, man. I stopped over that.
I got it. Now stop talking.
Write that down. I should have said something. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have. But okay, hey, if Cook does sit, we saw what Alexander Madison can do. They gave him 24 plus touches, I believe it was. Start him. Definitely start him. Back in running back 1 if Cook misses.
On that volume alone, you got to start him. It's the principle of the thing at that point.
Right? Yeah. It's freaking fantasy football. We're talking volume here, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, wide
that
receivers.
Doesn't exist anymore in fantasy. It's just crazy.
It is quite nuts, man. Yeah. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Yeah, you're going to start your studs in Jefferson and Thielen because they're both wide receiver 1s right now.
Yep.
In fantasy football. And then maybe if you gotta take a flyer on somebody, Tyler Conklin, man, he showed out last week, but
actually, he's being targeted a lot. It's consistent too. Then that's just something you don't find in tight end position. So you could take a worse guess than that. Could. Like if you got to take a flyer, why not?
Well, the only thing I say is they're not going to pass that much. You're going to get your Thielen, you're going to get your Justin Jefferson, but then the third receiver is either going to be Tyler Conklin at tight end or KJ Osborne. So I think they're going to kind of interchange a little bit throughout the season where one's going to be good, one's going to be.
Another point, though, to remember is that in games in which they have faced decent defense, decent secondary, I think it was Jefferson has not shown up. Like he's been just blanketed, and they've bracketed him, and I think Cousins is afraid to try to fit a ball into him.
Oh, and Cousins conservative?
Oh, imagine that, right? So those are the instances in which they've increased Conklin's targets. So a good defense like Cleveland, it's possible Conklin sees an uptick a little bit, actually. So it's worth considering if you do need a spot start this year. Right there. Yeah, if you do need a spot start this week, that's possibly one you could get away with. All right, we've got the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Yet another powerhouse matchup, right? Obviously, it's the old black and blue division, so it's just going to be a final score of 3-2. The question is which team gets the 3, right? All right, I'll take Detroit. We've got Jared Goff. He's at best like a 2 QB superflex start only. And again, it's probably you're going to be lucky, I think, to find him in the 2 QB territory or QB2 territory. He's just not good. DeAndre Swift, he's a start, not a bad play since his volume has been up, but I'm kind of wary still of that. I think that there's still concerns there. Jamal Williams, I think he's a flex. I personally would sit him if I had him until they shift some of the other carries back to him. I think that this is where the mistake is here. They are relying on DeAndre Swift a little bit more than Jamal Williams. I don't think Swift is really actually all that special in the end. I think that's probably a product primarily of a bad offensive line, because I think Swift has talent. I just don't know that he's able to overcome that bad line. It's like Mixon, right?
Well, I would assume that the Chiefs would want a redo on drafting CEH over DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. I've got Jamal Williams as a flex, but like I said, I'd probably sit him if I had him. Quintez Cephas, and I think most people who do have him, wherever they drafted them, they should be able to start someone else. Quintez Cephas is a flex, really bad flex. It's meh. Somebody has to get targeted in this offense at some point, right? I mean, so maybe, but most likely those targets are still going to go to Hawkinson, who is actually a start. Hawkinson. He's still actually a start here. He's probably going to continue to be the only real target in this offense. So
yeah.
All right,
got
Chicago
Bears. Bears.
The
soon-to-be, what is it, Arlington Bears?
Yep, the Arlington Bears. I think there's something like 12 teams that do not play in the city for which they are named. I mean, both of the New York teams, Las Vegas doesn't play in Las Vegas.
Patriots don't count because it's like the general area.
Because in New England, it's like, well, they could move all the way down to like the southern part of Virginia and still be classified that. Who else? San Francisco doesn't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara. Who else? Dallas doesn't play in Dallas. They play in Arlington.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe they should split it. What's that?
Or is it Frisco?
No, they might. No, I forget where they play. But there's a bunch of them that don't play.
I got Frisco Melt on my mind.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, going back to the Bears, not going to even talk about the quarterback situation there, but I am going to talk about David Montgomery, who is just a volume running back too at this point in this extremely anemic offense.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson. It sounds like Nagy will finally relinquish some of the play calling, which means maybe the Bears have a shot at getting the ball in the playmaker's hands.
Bill Lazor.
Freaking Lazor.
Yeah,
the former of the Lions, right?
Lions. I think he was also in Cleveland when Pettin was there, if I remember correctly. So
I mean, like, seriously, what is the qualifications to be an offensive coordinator? Like a retread.
Oh, a really cool name like Bill Lazor.
Freaking Lazor.
Yeah. You gotta have the last letters of your first name have to melt into the first letters of your last name and then be a cool one-word thing.
All right, if he's not already an offense coordinator again, let's bring back Jim Bob Cooter, because that is an all-time freaking offense coordinator name. Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, well, I think he got thwarted by Captain Caveman and his pencil. Right? He
did.
Yeah.
He did.
All right, we've got Houston Texans at the Buffalo Bills. All right, here we go. Houston. No, there's nothing. Wait, there is one. Yeah. So first of all, Davis Mills, you can't start him, but he hasn't been completely terrible. He's just not startable in any context. But just be aware he hasn't been terrible. And guess what? We've got a
hashtag
new
analysis on that one.
Well, yeah, it's just it's not really him. I think that if the offense had better weapons in it, it would be better. He would show up better and be worth a start in a 2 QB league or something. Brandon Cooks, he's the proof. He really is. He has no quarterback worth anything, and he's still showing up every single week. It's been crazy. I mean, I think he's a wide receiver 1 right now on the season.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. If he's not, it's like really close.
Oh, it's really close if he isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's finished with double digits in standard scoring every single week. So I think he was wide receiver 2 on week 1 or something like that. So, yeah, that's it, though. He's the only start. The rest of it, sit him. That's it.
We're 7 in standard scoring, Brandon Cooks.
There you go.
7.
7
miles an hour.
All right, Buffalo, what you got?
Buffalo. Josh Allen, he is going to be a start. But everybody, week 3, he finally came out. He finally had a good week. I know it's a small sample size, but the guy was he came low-end quarterback too. Yeah, I know. Right. Sorry. As soon as I said that, Kyle's going to mention something. Here we go. Yep. He came out and jumped through a table that they all do in the tailgate near Buffalo. Oh, I am that guy, man.
Don't be that guy.
But Josh Allen is a start. Running backs, man, I just can't trust either of them.
Neither can the Bills. So
it's obviously, healthy scratch week 1 for Zach Moss, and then now he's actually doing a little something in the receiving game. Mm-hmm. But Stephon Diggs, he's a stud. You're going to start him. Cole Beasley, I would start him if you're in a PPR league. Otherwise, I just would not start him because the ceiling is god awful. Emmanuel Sanders is a decent flex. The guy just gets it done. Year in and year out.
Yep.
I want to see him. I know it's a little recency bias because of the 2 touchdowns, but the targets are there right now.
Yep.
And then Dawson Knox, I still can't trust him as a tight end 1, but it's another one of those kind of dart throws like the Tyler Conklin that we just talked about for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's done well. He's been doing well.
He has. It's just like, how many times are they going to throw it? Are they going to throw it 50 times every week? Because it's a little.
Seems like it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
10 carries and that's it.
Yep. All right. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Miami Dolphins. What do you have on the Colts?
Yeah, this was kind of fun one, Kyle. We kind of switcheroo. You actually wrote down the notes on this one, so if I sound like an idiot, it's on.
Oh yeah,
you.
that's why. That's why. And well,
that's exactly why.
I'm gonna be talking about Miami on your notes. I didn't even bother to read them. I'm just gonna see what happens.
You can't read good anyways. You're fine. Yeah. I'm gonna say Jonathan Taylor is a start, but where is he at? Where has he been? Well, he's been there. It's just for some reason Frank Reich has decided not to use him enough. And now limited in practice with the knee, just the knee, just one knee.
Yeah, he has a knee.
But this guy needs to touch the ball 20 plus times. I don't get it right now. I'll go off.
They're saving him for the end of the season when all is
already
lost.
out.
When all hope is lost
already.
Yeah.
Nyheim Hines, great player. He is a little bit of a goal line vulture right now. It seems like they really try to get him the ball in the flat around the red zone. So got to look out for him. That would be a guy that potentially would be a flex for somebody. That's about it, man. I can't trust any of these wide receivers because Carson Wentz has still got 2 sprained ankles right now. One little note here. I did see this come out this week that Marlon Mack and the Colts have agreed to seek a trade. So he is going to be a healthy inactive this week. If he's available out there, I may throw him on the end of my bench if he's available, because if he gets traded to somebody that might have a chance. I mean, from what I've heard, he's looked pretty good in practice, but
not good enough to crack the 10 carries that the rest of the guys are getting total.
That's not on him, though.
I know that. All right, I've got the Miami Dolphins here. Don't even think about starting any of those QBs. Myles Gaskin is a flex. That's volume mostly is what that is. As long as he keeps getting volume, he might find the end zone, might fall in there. Will Fuller, he's a flex. Any point, either him, Parker, or Waddle's going to provide flex or better value, but good luck figuring out which one it's going to be, right? Defense hasn't been great, so maybe they'll throw the ball a lot, be behind, and need to throw a ton. Gesicki, he's worthy of a start, but that's about it out of this, especially if Jacoby Brissett gets the start, then Gesicki's the guy you go to there. He's going to get a lot of volume out of Brissett because he loves the tight end.
He got double-digit targets last week, which isn't shocking because whenever Jacoby was playing for the Colts, he targeted good old Jack Doyle.
Jack Doyle rules. Yep. Jack O'Doyle rules.
O'Doyle rules. All right, what we got? We got the Washington football team against the Atlanta Falcons. You're going to hit me with the WFTs.
Yep. All right, we got Washington. Taylor Heineke, I think you could actually play him as a flex QB. Heineke. 2 QB super flex only. Antonio Gibson, he should get rolling again this week, I think. Although, wait, no. Is he out now or he's injured?
He's got a shin. He's got a shin.
Yeah, I was going to say, what'd you do to him? What was it?
I know. All right. If look at our league
Justin's
right here,
jinxed.
If there's any, I am jinxed right now in our league. Made a trade, had to make a trade. And of course, I get Antonio Gibson. The trade was approved. And then like 3 hours later, Antonio Gibson was dressed, but did not practice. And, I was just like, all right, well, that made sense.
Yep.
Seems about accurate for
I was like, why didn't you warn people, man? You know this. You got to warn people.
I should let everybody know my moves in our league.
Yeah, we should just post it on the video. These are the guys you need to avoid because they're going to get injured.
It's going to happen.
You get half out of them. That's the best you get. All right. So, Antonio Gibson, keep an eye on what's going on with that. He may still play. I don't know. I haven't seen any update on that. F1, right? Terry McLaurin, start him. He's a wide receiver 2 this week with wide receiver 1 upside. I like McLaurin a lot. I would like him better if it were Fitzpatrick throwing the ball, but I'll take Heineke. He throws a pretty good deep ball as well, and he's willing to take some shots sometimes. Let's see here. We got Logan Thomas. He's a start, back end, tight end 1 this week. Unless he finds pay dirt, then he's absolutely elite, right? So, yeah. Oh, and then Justin just added a note here. Curtis Samuel, he's coming back this week, but that's nothing special. Just ignore that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got on Atlanta?
That's what usually you do anyways. I write down a note. Just ignore that little guy.
That little guy. All right, what do you got?
All right, Matt Ryan still has a little bit of 2 QB or super flex appeal, but that's about it because his yards per attempt is a whopping 6 yards, which is tied with the greats.
Which is massive. Wilson. Oh, it's massive compared to Justin Fields.
No, that's true. Oh, good Lord.
Sad face.
Yeah.
That whole offense.
Oh man, this whole offense is just god awful
No,
right
I
now.
think
Mike Davis,
Chicago was
true.
the worst in the history of the league last week.
I think so.
They? Averaged 1.1 yards per play.
I scored. Did I break it? Did I break it?
Yeah, they
broke somebody.
Yeah.
They broke somebody. Mike Davis is a flex only at this point. His opportunity share is still nice at 31%, but he's just not been as effective as the other running back, and that's Cordero Patterson. He's he's getting the ball via rushing. He's also receiving. He's becoming a weekly starter, everybody. So if you got a space in the flex, do it, because he's getting. I know you're doing one of these guys, but you look at it, he's getting double digits. I know. We've talked about this.
This offense isn't good.
This
offense is just not good. They don't know what to do. The fact that Cordero Patterson is
getting this kind of work
is the problem. Idea. He's never anywhere gotten any kind of work like this. You kidding me? Yeah,
I mean,
he was on. Wasn't he
31,
on
man?
Yeah, wasn't he on the Patriots at one point? And they thought, yeah, let's let go of this guy. And Minnesota. What other teams has he been on? He's been on like 8 or 9 teams now, and he's only had 6 years in the league.
It's been like 8 years he's been in the league, but Calvin Ridley, you're still gonna start him, but
yeah, you have to.
Come on, Matt, get him the freaking ball.
Yep.
Sorry,
nope,
so
it's not worth it.
Off.
Yeah. All right. Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. Seattle, Russell Wilson, start him if you got him. You know that. Chris Carson, start him if you got him. Chris Carson should be solid this week, as he'll be used, I think, in multiple manners. I think they're going to use him passing game, running game, all that stuff. San Francisco's really not been good against the running backs that catch the ball out of the backfield, and that's really where they're struggling, is on that outside stuff. DK Metcalf, you know what to do. And Tyler Lockett, samesies. Gerald Everett, clear tight end 1 of this team. He ran 26 routes in week 3 and has a solid share of the targets of this offense, right? Only start him if you have no other option, though. That's really what it boils down to. He's getting all this great option, but then nothing. Nothing worthwhile.
I think he was banged up in that game, too. I was just trying to pull up to see if there's been any kind of update on Gerald Everett.
I haven't seen anything.
Oh, this is what I saw.
Didn't they bring in another tight end, or they signed one to the practice squad or something?
Yeah, but there was
they traded for one.
Gerald Everett was placed on the reserve COVID list, so definitely take a look at that.
Yep.
So that's something to keep an eye on. If he didn't test positive as close contact, he can, test negative?
I think
like
negative
2 times in a row.
2 days in a row, I think is what it is.
2 days in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
So this was the 29th. So that was 2 days ago. So we have a good chance here.
Yep.
But, definitely check out the live stream to get an update on that one. All right, San Francisco 49ers. This running back room, man, this is just not fun. I mean, I feel like everybody's probably been on my team then, because everybody gets hurt. But Trey Sermon, he's a flex only if Elijah Mitchell is ruled out, because Sermon was out-snapped by the fullback Kyle Juszczyk last week. So, but it sounds like Eli has a chance of going. If he is, you start him, preferably in your flex if he's active, because he performs when he's on the field.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. I want to talk about Deebo first. He's an every week start at this point. Just stay healthy. Deebo! There it is.
Yeah, actually, last weekend I watched Friday. So
nice. Yeah. Did you watch it on Saturday or did you watch it on Sunday?
I don't recall. Yeah.
You don't know when you watched Friday? I'm sorry.
I think it was Saturday.
Joke.
Yeah, I watched it on Saturday. Actually, I watched Friday on Saturday.
Nice. Brandon Ayuk, he's trending in the right direction after a horrendous start. I'm okay with him in the flex right now. And then George Kittle, we needed that bounce back. We needed it. He was a stud, and he got 9 targets in week 3. It was a nice treat. He needs 7+ every week to get that value. He's on the field all the time. It's just he's so dang good at blocking. We've talked about this before, that he's out there a lot, but he doesn't run all the routes.
Yep. All right, we've got the Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams. Here we go. Kyler Murray should do okay, but this won't be an easy week, guys. This is a concerning week, but they're going to put enough volume in there, and he's going to be able to get some good throws in. Chase Edmonds back in, running back 2 this week if you're lucky. James Conner, he's pretty much meh at best. DeAndre Hopkins, you know what to do there. Come on, start your studs. Christian Kirk, I think he's a decent wide receiver 4 this week, so he's got some flex value there as far as like, I wouldn't start him in my flex spot, but like I would hope he's my wide receiver 4 if I'm putting him out there. His efficiency should start earning him some more targets at this point as the season goes along. I think he is the wide receiver 2 on this team. I know people paid up to go get Rondale Moore, but I think Kirk is actually the guy. Rondale Moore, he will eventually be, but he's just not yet. So, Yep. What do you got on the Rams?
Matthew Stafford, he's every week starter. You're going to do it now. I love it. I love seeing this guy in this offense. Darrell Henderson, start if he plays, and Sean McVay thinks he's going to suit up this week, so you're going to start him. If not, Sonny Michel is a flex, but I put in there he's a plotter. I mean, he had 20 carries and 63 yards last week.
He's a plotter.
Yeah. But Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. I'm going to talk about Cooper Kupp first. My little Cooper Kupp is a freaking stud. He is the favorite target by far for Matty Stafford. By far.
It's because he's a real gym rat. He's one of those guys, lunch pail guy.
It's like having a second coach out there, Kyle.
Yeah. He might have been a quarterback in high school too.
That's a good one, Kyle. That's a good one. I like it. Yeah. It probably is. Yeah. All right. Still waiting for that breakout from Robert Woods, man. 20% target share compared to Cooper's 35%. It has to kind of come back a little bit closer for this team to continue to be really good.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee.
It's probably because Kupp's white.
That's it. That's absolutely it.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Oh, yeah. But Higbee, you're going to start him. He finally had a good week, but you probably drafted him as a tight end 1, even though I guess you weren't listening to us. But
no.
He had a good week last week, and he might do the same. It doesn't take much. 30 yards and a touchdown, and you're tight end 1.
Yeah, it might be tight end 1 overall. It's possible. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It's Kelsey on a bye this week,
Yeah. Right.
All right, here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Picks. Are you saying Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I believe I could be of some assistance with this Pan or Pam thing. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Green Bay Packers. All right, you got Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I do, actually. So Ben Roethlisberger, he's only at 2 QB or super flex at this point in his career. Najee Harris, you're going to start him because he's dominating the opportunities right now in this offense. He's turning into a big man CMC when it comes to how many times he's out there on the field.
It's kind of like Zeke was early in his career, like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's always out there 90+% of the time.
Zeke would get like 28 carries a game his rookie season.
Well, there's a reason why he's finishing as a top 5 running back, everybody. We talk about it all the time. Volume is his game, not upside. Deontay Johnson, he's off the injury report. He missed last week, I believe, with a knee injury. Yet another knee, Kyle.
Yep, he had a knee.
But it sounds like he's good to go. First 2 weeks this season, he was averaging 11 targets per game. So I'm going to say it's probably going to continue that way. Chase Claypool did not practice on Friday for a hamstring injury. That means he's most likely going to miss this week. Fridays are always the biggest determinant on if a player is going to play or not. Juju Smith-Schuster off the injury report as well. Low-end wide receiver 3 or flex. Nothing fancy here. If you're looking for like a floor guy, this is definitely the floor guy, not an upside guy.
Yeah.
That's what I got. What do you got on the Packers, man?
You can't afford it.
Yeah. All right. I've got the Packers here. Rodgers, start him. Turns out week 1 was just an anomaly, actually. Who was it who said that he doesn't care anymore? Did you see the end of that game against San Francisco?
Everybody said it.
Yeah, no, it was primarily Jermichael Finley. If you were paying attention, that's exactly who Rodgers was talking to in the press conferences. He's like, yeah, why would you listen to a guy who I haven't talked to in 8 or 9 years? Yeah, that's Jermichael Finley, who had just been talking smack about him. Aaron Jones, dude is a beast, doesn't get enough hype in fantasy football. I don't really know why. He's finished as a top 5 back the last 2 years, I think now, 3 and 5 in standard scoring. Probably right around the same, maybe a little bit worse in PPR. Maybe that's why he gets a little bit of a knock. I don't know. Could also be because Aaron Rodgers is there and nobody wants to give Aaron Jones credit for what Rodgers is doing either. Devontae Adams.
Too many Aarons, man. We can only have one that we talk about.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to call Aaron Jones AJ. Now they got AJ Dillon. You can't do that. Who is a flex value. Devontae Adams, start your studs. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's good for at least one 40-yard pass, maybe each week.
Update.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think he was hurt in practice. They may be placing him on the IR.
I missed that.
Sorry. Quick update.
I've been on the road. I don't catch these. Yeah. All right. But I do have Tunyon as a flex, with Sternberger now officially gone. You hope he gets a little bit more of the targets there. But as long as Adams is healthy, half of the weekly targets are already gone. So what are you going to do? All right, let's see here. We've got Baltimore at Denver. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, startable in almost any week, right? But if they force him to be just a passer, you're going to have a bad day probably, because this offense doesn't have enough targets in the passing game, like weapons in the passing game, it seems. It's just not anything that's going to blow your socks off. Tyson Williams, decent flex play, but you need the coaches to remember that he's actually the key to the success of this offense. It isn't more running out of Lamar Jackson. It's actually Tyson Williams, who has looked very good. Marquise Brown, it's going to be a long day, but the targets should be there for him, so I think he's worth a flex, just like Tyson Williams. And let's see here, Mark Andrews. Yardage has been amazing, actually, this season, but you need the TDs to start paying
which is the
off.
complete opposite of what his career has been.
I would say that right now, Mark Andrews is probably a buy low candidate if you can get a hold of him. All right. I would suspect you're not going to be able to get him for free, right? You're not going to get him for a super discount. But I would say that he's somebody that if you need a tight end, maybe that team needs to move him or something, And so go out there, and I would go after Mark Andrews because his yardage has been amazing. You hit pay dirt one time, this dude's in the top 3 in the week, easy. So go for it, go get him. I mean, he's putting. I think he had 100-yard game, week 2 maybe, could have been week 3. One other note, Justin just tossed in here, Rashad Bateman activated from IR, but he's not yet on the 53-man roster. I think they have 2 weeks after they get off of IR to.
I believe so. 21 days or something like that.
No, it's 2 weeks, I believe.
Is it 2?
Okay. Yeah, they get they changed the designation, and then they have 2 weeks to fully technically activate them, is what it is. Yeah. So he's not actually activated off of the IR. What they do is their designation has changed, and so they're allowed to carry them. They can't dress or anything like that. They have to then make a practice and technically be activated, or they go back on IR for the whole season. So, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, talking about the Broncos here. So Teddy Bridgewater, he's a good super flexer 2 QB start. Weird little stat here because of what he's done in the past, as Bridgewater has the 3rd most deep pass attempts. Notoriously conservative quarterback has the 3rd most deep pass attempts. Something to look at, man. Something to look at. But Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, they're both kind of decent flexes for both running backs. Gordon is a little banged up, which is for the majority of his career. But they are hurting each other's ceiling, but both have an okay floor that if you need to, you can start them in the flex. Cortland Sutton, looking good as a wide receiver 2 right now for the rest of the season, as long as he, no flare-ups with the knee.
Yeah.
Just can't have the knee, man.
Nope.
No knees. Tim Patrick, I would really like to play him in my flex. I mean, if you have to play him as your wide receiver 3, that's okay. It's just not a whole lot of upside there. I know. He's gotten 10 points every week. 10 points, Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
Week.
But if he's your wide receiver 3 and you're in a 3 wide receiver league, guys, start making some moves. Get some trades going here. Get something better than Tim Patrick.
If you have a guy like AJ Brown, Higgins, you're
looking for one, or you're stuck with 1 week where you need to figure it out. Noah
Fant is he's an okay tight end 1, but there's so much inconsistency in his game. Shocker, tight end inconsistency. It's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah,
imagine that.
All right, Sunday night football game. Yeah,
Ooh,
here you go.
I can't wait for this game, man.
Yep, this is the one. I can't believe I saw this. I can't believe that they got Adele to write a song about Tom Brady coming back to New England. Right. All right, we've got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming back at the Bill Belichick New England Patriots. Tommy's last trip through, you know that you got to start him because you know that Brady wants to win this one so he could say he beat every team in the league, right? At least once. And you know that he wants to stick it to Belichick too. So winning a Super Bowl, not enough. Nobody really, I think, acknowledges that he plays with a chip on his shoulder as much as Aaron Rodgers does. People just don't want to acknowledge it for some reason. All right, Leonard Fournette. They're still trying to make old Fournette a thing, aren't they? Old Lenny. He's a flex, I suppose, but that's about it.
And the crazy thing, he's not even that old.
No, he's not. But he looked like he was 45 when he was 21.
It's a Greg Oden disease, man.
Yeah, he does. He's got that. I don't know what it is. Just looks old.
Just look old.
Yeah, doesn't play old, but he's a little slow. I mean, I say that he's a little slow, right? That's. Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and run faster than him, right? Okay, so Mike Evans, he's a start. Yardage is there even if the TDs aren't, which is very odd for Mike Evans, right? At least the last couple seasons has not had a whole lot of yardage. So starting to get that. Let's get some touchdowns going there, Mike. Chris Godwin, solid wide receiver, 2 week inbound, guys. So go ahead, feel free to fly him out there. Antonio Brown, he's a flex at best. Keep an eye on the availability here. He's expected to be back, but at the time that we're recording this, I don't know if they're sure he's going to be available just yet. So
we should have new updates on that.
Yeah, we should have an update hopefully on Sunday morning. So check back with us at the live show. Scotty Miller, I have a note for you here, Justin. This scrappy little fella is now on the IR.
Oh, yeah, he had a little toe issue, turf toe.
Yep. But what I hear is that they're going to put a headset on this guy and they're going to start letting him call plays. It's like having a second coach out there. So it couldn't be any worse than McDaniels. Rob Gronkowski, he's a start. Start your touchdown dependent studs, right? Limited in practice though. So be careful there. Make sure that you know whether or not he's going to be playing. We know on Scotty Miller what's happening there. We don't know yet on Gronk. He's like, hey guys, I'm here for him. Yeah, the hair regrowth thing or whatever it is. His accent is so weird. It is I don't know what that is. It's like Valley Boy, like
frat boy.
It's like it's like, hey guys. I don't know. I can't even do it. Yeah, it's like he's got a speech impediment, but it's just Southern California, and it's like I don't think he's from there. I don't know.
No.
So
in his mind, he's there.
I think his mind is there. But in his mind, I don't know. All right, what do you got on the Patriots?
Mac Jones, he's okay 2 QB or super flex because he's throwing the ball a lot. All right, Damian Harris is a start. James White is out for the season, everybody. Will Harris finally get some more passing game work?
Yep.
If last week was any indication, then no. But maybe they have designed some more plays to get Harris the ball knowing White is out. Because Harris did not get much of a workload at all because they're playing from behind. And then they decided to play Brandon Bolden in that role after James White went out. But kind of keep an eye on what kind of work that Brandon Bolden gets. Could be a decent little sleeper potential for the rest of the season here. Jacoby Myers, he's getting the targets. He should provide wide receiver 3 or flex value. That's all I got for starts. Only other note, I don't even want to say it because it's not even worth it. Guy's not worth it. Doesn't want to play football. So next.
Yeah. Or you're going to jinx Ramondre Stevenson, so don't say anything about him either.
I already did that.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Monday night game. We've got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. Both of these teams were in different cities just 2 seasons ago, right? All right, Derek Carr. You're not even listening to me. Derek Carr, here we go. Start has been having a great year. And that's against actually decent to pretty good defenses, believe it or not. So I think you could start him if you've got him. And so I've got him as a start. I think he finishes again as a top 12 wide receiver or QB. There you go. He might play wide receiver too. I don't know. Ask John Gruden. Anything is possible. Anything's possible, Chuck.
Anything.
Yep. Josh Jacobs, it's flex value at best if he's even able to play, guys. If he's not able to play, and you've got Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake is still a sit for me in that instance. He's lost 3rd down carries midway through the game last week to Peyton Barber. That's right. Yeah. Hey, Matt Nagy, that's called an in-game adjustment. Just in case you were wondering what they look like. Right? I'm not even a Bears fan, and it's making me mad at this point. Yeah, we got to go check the tape and why do you need to look at the tape 4 weeks in a row, man?
It was god-awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Oh, you want to see what I saw on the tape? A coach who can't call plays is calling plays, and none of them make sense strung together. And then
not with that quarterback.
He scripts the first 70 to 75 plays, and then once they get through there, then they start to riff on those, and they think they've got a good handle of what the defense is showing them. Just the first 70 to 75 plays. They don't want to. They don't want to go overboard or anything. No. Okay. Anyway, back to the Las Vegas Raiders, because you don't care about the Bears, just like I don't care about the Bears. Henry Ruggs, flex play at best, but his upside is pretty nice, I think, actually. So I'd roll with it, because Derek Carr has to throw to somebody other than Darren Waller at some point, but maybe not. That's why Darren Waller's an absolute stud. He catches everything. Derek Carr knows that, so he throws him everything until about the midpoint of the third quarter. And he's like, oh, wait, this game's still close? Maybe I should try somebody else. See if that works. Try that out. See how it feels. All right. Los Angeles Chargers, what do you got for us?
Justin Herbert. Yeah, he's a start. He should, this should be a shootout.
Yeah.
And Herbert should be able to put up some elite numbers this week. Austin Eckler, he's a stud who's getting back that receiving work that he unexpectedly lost in week one. That's still crazy. Didn't make any sense. All carries, no targets for a guy that's more of a pass
teach him a lesson.
Running back. Yeah.
How dare you be a fan of fantasy football, Austin? You're not allowed to do that. The coach found out and he took it away.
Keenan Allen.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is not. That is the reason. Keenan Allen, speaking of nice things, he was limited in practice, but he should be good to go. Wide receiver 2+ with this matchup. So Mike Williams.
Well, wait, I have a question though. Did you flip a coin to figure out whether or not this is the on week for Allen or the off week? Which one is it?
It's been on so far, but we are only 3 games in. So maybe it's the battle of the thirds. Maybe it's every third game or something, or like every fourth game.
Yeah, we'll see.
But Mike Williams, he's finally playing like a top 10 pick in the real NFL draft. He's playing for that second contract, Kyle, because I don't think he got his 5th year picked up.
Justin Herbert decided, you know what, I can throw to someone other than Keenan Allen.
I could throw to a guy that's 6'4".
But I'm going to primarily throw to that guy only 2. So like Mike Williams is doing it on volume. Like he is clearly at this point, I think Herbert's favorite target. So yeah. The guy who lost out is Austin. The guy who lost out is Austin Eckler. Really, it is.
He started to get his targets back a little bit.
That's why Keenan Allen's losing them. So
there you go. That's all I got, man.
All right, guys. We're hopeful that this has helped you.
It helped me.
Maybe next week, Justin, you could start.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Yeah, maybe you could start winning. I don't know.
Winning.
Yeah, I say that like my team is winning. My team's not winning either, but I get so busy doing this stuff and other things that I've got going on, and I forget to do anything for my team in our league. I'm like, oh, that would be a great pickup. Yeah, I fell asleep trying to put a waiver claim in on a dude. It was like, well, okay. Guess that's how this season goes. So, I'm still going to win it all, though. Got to have faith. You got to have faith. Yeah.
Gotta have faith.
Yeah, it's not looking good, guys. But you know what? I think I get a pass this year. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I've said it before is we pay attention so much to this that we kind of forget right after our stream. We're like, oh, we need to check our own team. Yeah. We're trying to be non-biased as possible when we talk about all these players. So that way we can kind of get you all the, updated information, upside information.
Yep.
We don't want to be biased to our own teams.
Yep. Hey guys. Okay. So we got through that one a lot faster. Hopefully that is helpful for you. And I don't know, maybe I think they started the bye weeks this week, maybe next week. I don't remember.
I think it's 6, week 6. So
I think they moved it. It used to be they would start on week 4, but I think they moved it after they had the week 17 game added. So, or not week 17, but the 17th game, because it's week 18 that they're doing that, I think, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for week 4's fantasy football starts and sits. Hopefully that's been helpful. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you can find out when we start the live stream. We will tweet that out as well. We'll give you a notification that we're going to start in 5 minutes, and then we'll hit another notification with a nice little treat that says, hey, we're live. You can catch us on at FFB_upside, and that's where that tweet will go out. We've also got at JW_the_upside or at Kyle_the upside, and you can just hit us up over there with some questions. We'll try to answer things, start, sit questions, anything like that. Feel free to hit us with them down below as well, and we will talk to you next time, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
See ya.